not your fault that you can't see what we see. This is How to Watch TV on Comeuppance Network. This is How to Watch TV on Comeuppance Network. This is How to Watch TV.
Welcome to How to Watch TV. My name is Joel Henderson. With me, as always, Jeremy Vasitis.
Hello, and make sure you like us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all that good stuff.
Yeah, what are we at?
And check out ComeuppanceNetwork.com.
Nope. Comeuppance.com.
Comeuppance.com, okay.
It's Comeuppance Network. It's already hard enough to spell Comeuppance, so I figured I didn't want to throw network on the end of it.
Right.
I guess I could do network.comeuppance.com. Again, a little bit too much.
As a reference to a video you showed me earlier this week. Really give us those likes because that really helps us out.
Yeah, if you could, if you ever had family, would you go ahead and like this video? Just give it a like underneath.
If you don't have any family, give us a favorite.
Yeah. Also, if you could share it on the YouTube and on Twitter, we're at _HowToWatchTV until we manage to get the intellectual property rights to @HowToWatchTV at _HowToWatchTV. And on Twitter, on Facebook, there is a group, a discussion group called How to Watch TV. It's got our logo. You'll see it. Looks just like that. So join that if you want to talk about it on social medias. But this week, TV. It is May 4th, so I would be
National Star
remiss.
Wars Day.
Yeah, I would be remiss to mention that, even though I don't Star War. As of yet, I've yet to Star Wars.
That's pretty good.
So it's the 4th of May, so I may as well mention that we are still doing the 7 Star Wars podcasts this year. They're just going to be special How to Watch TVs. They'll be video, but we're going to go 1 through 6 and then watch episode 7.
This is also a very important day.
Why is it important?
It's 10 years ago today I met my wife.
Is it?
Yes.
Really? Okay. I did not know that.
Yep. And it's also my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, so, yeah.
She was born on Star Wars Day. How about that?
Okay. And you have that.
And,
The 4th...
So may the 4th be with me.
Yeah, it was. Okay. She was the second of 4 children.
My mom?
No, Jenna.
Jenna?
I don't know if that counts.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, TV stuff this week. I just saw that it's not really TV related, but movie related. Joss Whedon just quit Twitter over the whole Black Widow backlash, which, as far as I can understand it, is that people are pissed that they can't buy Black Widow merchandise, which that makes total sense, and that they haven't. I mean, I'd be upset.
It's total sense.
Yeah,
it
that
makes
makes
total
sense
that they're pissed off.
Yeah,
I don't understand why they wouldn't make action. They make action figures of everything else.
It's
why not
now
that?
become some sort of feminist movement, which I know that's
so then
grown inducing.
Fucking make some action figures. I mean, how long is it going to be before the Scarlett Johansson action figure comes out? I mean,
that
seriously.
seems to make sense. But I mean, even Scarlett Johansson went so far as to potentially piss off her boss in the Avengers and that whole movie role by doing and if you haven't seen it, look it up. It's an SNL skit called it was like the Black Widow trailer, and it's a rom-com. And she plays Black Widow, but also just desperately wants a guy to save her, and like it becomes a romantic comedy, like a regular romantic comedy, but it's actually Scarlett Johansson doing it.
Oh, so it was a skit on SNL.
It was a skit on SNL. It's really good. And, yeah, it's just basically what they're saying is the female superheroes get no respect. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you don't see a lot of movies that come
There's
out
none
that are
helmed
just
by
like,
them.
Right?
Wonder Woman's failed every time they've tried to do it. I don't know why.
They're going to try to do it again.
Of course.
So we'll see
Maybe
what
they'll get it
happens.
right. I don't know what's
she's
missing
supposed to
from
come
that.
up and she's supposed to appear in the Superman-Batman movie.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Catwoman, that's never really taken off. They tried.
Well, I mean...
But,
It was poorly done.
Yeah, it just wasn't... I can't think of any superhero-led movies that are female.
To be fair, Scarlett Johansson is not one of the lead Avengers. The Black Widow has never really been one of the lead Avengers.
But
She's an Avenger.
there are action figures for literally every single other character.
See, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Why would they not make
But
her
it
as
turned
an
into
Avenger?
some sort of a female thing, like a female power, which, whatever, that's... I don't care about the whole movement. Let's just get some action. Let's get some equality when it
I mean, it
comes
seems to
that
me
kind of
that if
exposure.
it's a stance that the toy company or whoever it might be, I don't know who made the toys, but it's a stance they probably shouldn't take. I mean,
I think
like,
it's
just,
Marvel. I think it comes down to it.
Just
it,
make the action figures. I mean, it's really not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a fight that you should take. Okay, we're sorry that we did this. We'll make sure we get on that right away.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think that, like, why fight it? You know what I mean?
Seems like a simple solution.
It doesn't seem like there's something that they should take a stand against.
No, they don't. I don't think that.
I don't think they are. It's just I don't think.
I don't think they saw it coming.
I don't think they did. But why? But that conscious decision had to be made somewhere, though.
Like,
in
no,
some
she doesn't
room,
need a figure.
Somebody made that decision to not do it,
Yeah.
and that's kind of dumb to me that they would pull that.
Yeah, that's kind of sexist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he ended up getting Joss Whedon after people saw the movie. Now, this all happened prior to the movie's release. That whole part of it. Yeah, so now the movie has come out,
right?
And people said that she wasn't necessarily represented in the most independent woman role. I don't know. Like, I haven't seen either of the movies, so I don't want you to necessarily tell me. But tell me if you can relate to what I'm talking. Basically, they were saying that it came down to, again, her wanting a man to save her, or something to that effect, or her needing to fall in love, or something like that.
I mean, but that's part of cinema, dude. Like,
yeah.
I
think that's their complaint, is that women.
I mean, people
don't get to just be like a male superhero.
I mean, I can't give away. I can't. I don't know. I can't.
When was the last time there's been a male superhero that it was just about him getting the girl? Or, like, he needed the girl for validation of everything. You know what I mean? Of shit like that. Like, I think that's the side they're leaning on. Like, just give us one with her being a badass. Like, why does it have to be about the typical romantic comedy?
I mean, people are reading too much into it.
Absolutely.
If that's the argument, then they're reading too much into it.
I'm paraphrasing.
I'll tell you what happened. As far as the people that made the movie, they liked the vibe between Mark Ruffalo and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Their chemistry on screen together is really, really good.
Yeah.
And
they made that decision.
You know what I'm saying? I think, and I just think they rolled with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily know.
I'm sure it wasn't done intentionally like that. Joss Whedon is the one to empower women.
I don't know if I don't want to give it to him, but she's like the one that can calm the Hulk down from his fucking going crazy mode. She like has a trick that gets him to calm down and change back. You know. And it's, so their characters get. I don't know. You should. I mean, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna check them out.
I mean, if they're taking it that far, man. Whoa, people,
dude.
Let's pump the brakes.
It went really far.
Let's take it easy. We'll get the action figure made.
We've got a lot, but again, that became.
I understand that, but for the way that she's represented in the movie, she is a fucking badass in the movie, and I.
He's always been empowering.
If you really want to look at it, if you really want me to break it down like that, he needed her.
Yeah. Yeah, it just
and more than she needed him to save her. I don't think that's not what it was. He didn't need to save her. She's the one who.
Yeah.
He needed her more than she did him.
Yeah.
As far as the characters go.
Well, Joss Whedon himself in all of
I'd
the
have
shows.
to see the movie again. See a lot of shit that we go on about. We watch the television shows over and over again. I've seen the movie once. Yeah. I haven't been able. I mean, it was right up front, so it was kind of like in my face. You don't have time to psychoanalyze it the first time you watch something.
I was never a fan of Buffy necessarily. I didn't watch it. I didn't see a couple of his shows, but the stuff that he did do that I saw, Firefly.
Yeah, that was really good. I don't.
Dollhouse. Women were empowered, independent, badass characters in it. So I don't get why people should run him off to the sense that he's now with Damon Lindelof somewhere saying awesome shit, and we don't get to fucking hear it because somebody's can't distinguish between a movie or an awesome fucking TV show and the line where you're making death threats to people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody?
Like, is that what happens?
He's getting death threats. He ended up having to make his Twitter account private or delete it.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And now, did you
Damon Lindelof left about a year ago.
I know you don't get into sports. Did you hear about that sports story a little while ago where some Twitter people threatened a guy's daughter, and he fucking hunted them down.
Yeah.
He got their fucking IP addresses or whatever and found who the fuck they were and exposed their asses. And they fucking read their names on fucking the air and everything on ESPN. Yeah. And like these people lost their jobs and shit because they did that shit at work. Like one of them was working for the fucking Yankees and shit. Like lost his job, like over some fucking some awful shit they said about the dude's daughter. You like some awful death fucking rape threat or some shit like that they made to the guy's daughter. I can't fucking remember. Kurt Schilling or something like that is the guy's name. He was a Major League Baseball pitcher. And he was posted some pictures with him and his daughter or something like that. And you can believe the awful shit that they were... Yeah. They couldn't even read it on the air, the awful shit that the people were saying about his daughter. You know. So yes, sometimes people go too far on Twitter. If you're making death threats over the Avengers movie, you got more problems than fucking...
I think
you've got more problems than you need help.
You're ruining it. You're ruining it for everybody.
Right. Find something else better to do because seriously, like it's not that important. You know what I'm saying? We treat it as important because it's a hobby and it's a thing that we love to do, but I'm never going to threaten anybody's life over a TV show or a video game or anything like that. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. It's fucking that sucks now.
So I'm sorry that you're gone, Joss Whedon. We'll be waiting for you on Twitter.
Right.
Community.
And good job on the movie. If you ever see this, good job. Avengers was fucking awesome. And that's all I'll really say about it. Since you didn't see it, we can't go into too much discussion about it. But it was really, really good.
Community, just a couple news bits on that. There was a thing that I read today saying that although there's been speculation that the recent season of Community would be its last, the Yahoo president says that she's still committed to the project and is talking with creator Dan Harmon about all sorts of exciting things for Community's future. So that's good to hear that it's going to continue.
I think the overwhelming success of it... I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I would hope it's overwhelmingly successful.
Well, like I saw a commercial for it. It said, "See what millions of fans have saying," or something like that. Because of all the positive feedback he's been getting via social media. And
it's the best episode so far of this season.
The recent episode was great
with this cast. Yeah, it's. I mean, some of the things that it tied together. I made a couple notes this time, not like rehashing stuff, but digging deeper into things, which I think is the kind of stuff you guys would want to hear about. I'm hoping.
Well, hopefully that's why you're here, because we're digging a little bit deeper, and that's what we're trying to get better at too, is digging a little deeper, and maybe not just rehashing episodes, but
especially not things that aren't like Game of Thrones or that kind of show where you need to go through scene by scene.
Right.
Abed talked about having an old cop friend write dialogue. Professor Hickey was that one. He had been a cop and had helped out with dialogue, and he even said, "I'm going to punch you in the heart." It was like a reference to the D&D episode from last year. You heard Chang say the line of dialogue, "I will punch you in the heart," which is a Hickey reference. So he was getting the dialogue from Professor Hickey without them even...
So that's but the guy who plays Mike.
Yes.
On Better Call Saul.
Exactly. Okay. He wasn't around for obvious reasons.
If you want to take a look, because that's fucking awesome. Yeah. That's really cool.
Jen, my wife, she works by a Cinnabon, and she asked right after Better Call Saul premiered, because she saw the thing, if we could have it, and boom, there it is. Let's see.
That's pretty awesome.
I liked the point of the episode. You make all your plans, and some work, some don't. But along the way, if you put in the effort, something magical happens, and the universe tosses something really cool in your lap.
I think your reaction was really good when we watched the episode.
Yeah.
It's like how ambitious.
Oh my god!
Like how out there was this episode? But
Abed taking a movie out of like 50 seconds of dialogue, and making a whole that was so ambitious.
It was like an 80-minute movie out of it.
Yeah.
But the way they only had him like picking up the phone, so that's how he walked in to confront the bad guy, and he sat down and picked up the phone. I mean, like that.
You know how they could have done that even better? I'm just throwing this out there.
It was hilarious.
If they had him go to talk to somebody at jail. Just put him behind the glass. Like, that would have been perfect. They could have had a
scene of him talking to somebody behind through a glass window.
He sits down again because he's always seated. I loved how the ham girl and the tie-in to Chang's season-long plot to be an actor.
Yeah.
Because it's something that is continuing, and I really quite enjoy that.
I'm impressed. I was impressed by this episode. It was real good. All the tinfoil little props they made and all that shit.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
There was something magical about the way it went from reality to in that film, too. The way it was...
They cut to it.
I mean, I would watch movies like that. I would watch a movie. I mean, it would have to be by a certain kind of creator. Like, you'd have to know it was Abed. And I know that sounds stupid, but I would like to see. I would watch those kind of movies.
Chief Star and the Protectors of the Galaxy.
The Raiders of the Galaxy or something. Yeah, something ridiculous.
In the same exact font as Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it's. I mean.
I like the Chris Pratt mentions tying into Jeff's belief that he'll be the last one to leave. You know, he feels like I feel like it's a reference to Chris Pratt moving on from TVs to movies and graduating to all that. Like, I feel like that's me reading into it too much.
Do you think that's him even a little bit comparing himself in real life?
That's what I'm saying. I think that storyline ties in, but that's me supposing to know Joel McHale's real feelings on it and
True.
Whether he'd want to be a movie star versus. But I feel like it does tie into that too. Like,
but I think he looks at it like, I mean, 'cause seriously, like. They were in shows that were comparable sitcoms.
Shit, they were back to back at some point.
You know what I'm saying? Joel McHale was actually the lead.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt wasn't the lead in
and now he's the lead in movies.
And now Chris Pratt, who was he was kind of a chunky dude.
Yeah.
What did he say? Something about they CG'd muscles onto they gave him computer generated
that doesn't
muscles.
just happen. Yeah, I don't remember the exact line.
It was great stuff. But I mean, like, but I guess I can see his comparison if he's actually making that comparison. Like, why not me?
Yeah.
For some of this shit that's going on. Why?
Because that's what's happening in the show.
I wonder if he even auditioned.
Who?
Against Chris Pratt for any of those roles.
Oh, I'm not sure.
It'd be interesting to find that out, to where if we knew that.
The way that ties into Jeff's storyline in the show, where he feels like he's going to be the last one to leave Greendale.
Right.
Like, I just thought that was kind of a neat little tie-in, that it happened to be Chris Pratt, somebody who could be, that such a comparison could be made in real life, too. But yeah, I loved the story of Jeff feeling that way, and you can see it right from the beginning. It was, I don't know, I really liked this story.
Episode.
Bazinga, where he jumped up out of the frisbees. Frankie with the drums again.
Was that a shot? I mean, is that a shot?
He's not
I know he's not a fan of Big Bang Theory.
It's not that. I don't think that that he's not a fan. I think that he's not a fan of the amount of acclaim that it gets comparative to his show, which in some ways is more in depth and blah blah. You know what I mean?
Is.
Like,
I'll give it that.
I'm not trying to compare the two to say pick one or the other.
And I'll tell you what, recently, like, Big Bang Theory hasn't, in the past seasons, when I was downloading them, waiting for the new episodes, I was like really into it and waiting for like these last couple seasons.
I feel like that is sadly a side effect of the glass breaking of doing this kind of a thing. You have to watch so many things, you start to see where deficiencies are, even in things you love.
Right, yeah. I mean,
as much as I love Lost, the beginning of season 6 wasn't great.
It feels like this, whatever, I've watched probably 13 episodes of the current season of Big Bang Theory that's on right now, and it just seems like it's one long sex joke. They ran out of
they're out of 2.5 Men now, so Chuck Lorre's got to channel all his sex jokes to there.
And that sucks. And that really sucks, because Big Bang Theory wasn't about sex jokes when it first came out. They were about making fun of pop culture and the nerd side of things, and like that's why I fell in love with the show, and it seems like it's lost its way a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's see, any other thing that I had here about Community? I'm just looking at my notes. I liked Abed making a good movie out of the footage. Amazing, again.
The way they all got on the same page.
Yeah.
And they're in a little meeting.
When he's
great.
Yeah,
he was like, "But it's got to be good by my standards." And he's like, "Well,
even
we can make a good movie
not.
or a bad movie. Probably a bad movie."
Yeah. And then when he goes, "Let's crap out this piece of crap," that attitude worries me.
That attitude worries me. The way he points at him like that. The 3-ball, was that when he
stands up? That was the next. The last line that I have here is Annie throwing jabs at Britta about not paying rent was great. That was funny from the first time she said it.
Yeah.
It didn't even need to be a callback to when she said it later. Pay your rent.
Pay your rent.
Yeah, like, you can't say anything until you pay your rent. Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And then when Elroy came out with the green 3-ball, and he goes, and like nobody's reacting to it, and he's like, "There's no green 3 in billiards. There's a green 6 and a green 14, but there's no green 3. What game is this?
What sport is this?
That's fucking
and how
hilarious.
did it get in my RV?" And then he just kind of goes and then walks away.
Yeah.
Like, that was hilarious to me. That was his best bit, like one of his best bits on the show so far. Keith David.
Yeah.
One of his best bits, standing up out of nowhere with the 3-ball, was hilarious.
So
and I had the thought, and you can't prove this stuff, But when I first saw that, when he held it up before he spoke anything, I was like, "There's no green 3."
Yeah,
because it just looked completely unfamiliar when he stood up with it. There's no green 3. There's a green 6 and a green 14. Oh, that's great stuff.
Silicon Valley.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
that show just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, this week was. I can't. I'm sorry. I've too many things. I'm having overload. I got so into Community there. I didn't make any notes for Silicon Valley, so I can't really remember the plot.
Oh, well, it was they were hiring people. They were going through.
They got the girl in
policy, and they were hiring new hires and stuff like that.
And she was fucking with him about the pay rate. Yeah, what they're getting paid versus what she's getting paid, which was pretty great.
But she, did you catch that she knew them?
What do you mean?
Guilfoyle and Dinesh.
From?
Before. They had worked together on something or before they knew her.
Oh, that's what they said?
That's why she knew how to fuck with them right away. I see. Okay. So as soon as she got hired, she had planned to fuck with them.
He's like, but you and I know the amount, and that's not... Yeah, no.
I mean, dude, that show is... Office Space came on while I was at work today.
Yeah.
The Mike Judge movie, and it made me... And I was like, dude, his show right now... I was telling the person I was working with was watching Office Space. I was like, right now, you need to watch... his show on HBO right now.
It channels the same humor brilliantly. Humor.
Dude, the way...
It feels like that's what I would say.
The hardcore rap music that he leads in with, or exits episodes with, it cracks me up, dude, the way he fits that. Because it has no place with them, you know what I'm saying? But yet, it fits.
So in this one, they wanted to hire that douchebag guy, but then Russ Hanneman stole him from under them.
The cyborg. The cyborg. The dude who had the tattoos of the robot. They were like, did you notice that? His tattoos were like inside, like it was like his skin peeled back and it was like robot.
I'm not sure how I feel about 3D tattoos. Like some of them look pretty cool, but it's weird.
It was so awful. Like it
creeps me out a little bit.
I guess the dude, it was funny in the show, but like if you see this dude in real life, you're like, dude, why would you? That's a Halloween costume, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, basically, it's like Orin all the time from Parks and Rec.
He was even. This dude had shit tattooed on him, like his arm was ripped open, and there was like cybernetic limbs inside of there. That's what it was like. You get it?
I see what he's doing. He has a pacemaker.
The pacemaker, and that scar. Is that really put in a pacemaker? That's not how you put in a pacemaker.
I don't think so. I'm sure it's not real.
No, not right here. They cut open your whole chest plate, don't they? I'm not a doctor, people. I wouldn't.
He's not a doctor. Don't go to him if you have any medical procedures you need done.
Do not come and see me. No.
Ehrlich in this episode. I mean, I feel like he's back. He doesn't have what's his name
I
to deal with Hanneman.
I think they purposely put him out of place a little bit last episode because of that was a funny dynamic between him.
Well,
and
he's
Hanneman.
Even kind of still getting shit on actually. Now that I think about it, because he was kind of left in the background of all of the episode for the most part. They kept he kept popping in to say stuff in the house because that's where they're working, and then he would just walk back to the other part.
Oh, but you see, I think that was part of the episode though too, because that was part of their storyline. Because Ehrlich was feeling left out because they're running his company in his house. You know what I'm saying? And he's not. He's more of a board member, not a creative,
not a really contributing member of anything other than the house.
Right.
It's quite an entertaining show, and I like that they're not so much hinging every episode on the relationship with the girl. Richard's infatuation with the girl from
and see, I don't even think about that most of the time. Like sometimes I do, but they do a good job of not leaning on that so much.
It felt like it was going to become that for a while. Like, oh, this is going to become
I think
long chase.
Now he would have went, let's not make this Big Bang Theory.
Potentially.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, keep it... Well, no, what they'll do, and I can almost say this with certainty just based on the amount of shows I've watched, and maybe they'll throw us a curveball. I'd be happy for them to do so. I think what'll end up happening is that it'll last until, the last season before they actually hook up. That's what, in theory, they should... I mean, I guess you can't really do it with something that would run 10 seasons, 15 seasons like Big Bang Theory. You couldn't necessarily keep Penny and...
You really think it's going to last that long?
What? Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
I think it's going to last 14 seasons.
Wow.
When it was at season 7, the cast said, we don't feel like we're even halfway done.
Well, I mean...
fine. To be fair, you can milk that dynamic all you want, but I think it's going to dilute it long term. I think even It's Always Sunny being at plus 10 seasons might be a bit much for that show. Like, I think South Park is going to get away with it for as long as it wants to.
Well, that's because
it's animated and they can keep it up to date.
The Simpsons have...
I don't see any reason for The Simpsons to end. You can hate on it all you want, but...
Why?
There were a couple seasons that were meh, that were mediocre, but there's a lot of good stuff.
I haven't watched it recently in a long time.
There's a lot of good stuff in the new seasons. It's like it's had a resurgence.
I mean, he's played off pop culture the entire time he's been doing it. So why pop culture keeps changing and evolving? Why wouldn't he change and evolve his show to it? You know what I'm saying? Matt Groening's a fucking genius, dude. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's just no other way to.
There's lots of good shit on TV.
Yeah,
lots of good things on TV. We're gonna get to our main event here, so we're gonna take a pause.
One other thing I wanted to mention. A couple other things. Is that an alarm?
I had a timer set. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Well, I'll do real quickly. Yahoo Screen.
Okay.
There's 2 original shows I've watched on Yahoo Screen besides Community, because Community led me to that area. Yeah. Well, here I'll tell you. They played a preview.
You can talk about them a little bit.
They played a preview for Other Space in the theater when I went to go see Avengers. So I was like, oh, that's on Yahoo Screen. That's free for me to watch because Yahoo Screen's completely free on fucking Apple TV. You can just click on it and watch all their content. Community, Other Space. I watched all 8 episodes of that. 25 minutes. I mean, pretty funny stuff, dude.
It looked like a show I would watch when I saw the preview.
I think you would like it. It's really clever at times. I think it was really well done. It's funny stuff. The captain was really good. And another show called Sin City Saints about a professional basketball team and its owner in Las Vegas. Yahoo, original content coming from Yahoo. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
For original free content. Yeah. For me to just find something to watch.
And I'm cool. Weekend. I'm honestly cool with the limited episode orders because they could just put out another show. Like, you don't have to overwork everybody.
Unlike Community, it was. I think those were both released all at once.
Yeah.
All 8 episodes.
Well, but even so, just the fact that they're not
funny stuff,
they're not stressing a cast and a crew out to do, like, because I mean, as much as I loved season 1 of Lost, that's a lot of fucking episodes to make people do in 1 year. 25 episodes it almost ended up being. Yeah. So to give the crew a break, to allow people to do other things, I think we're going to hit a golden age again of television, in the sense that once we get past the TV aspect, besides it being a piece of equipment to let us watch stuff through all our streaming devices, we're going to get to a point where, because it's only 13 episodes at the most, for the most part anymore,
it allows us to move on to something else.
We can move on to something else. The actors can do that for 1/4 of the year, and then move on to, and then do a movie. Don't you
like that? Don't you like seeing your actors that you like in television shows, seeing them doing other stuff?
Yeah,
seeing them in other roles.
I'm cool with seeing Rafi in the league and in like Community.
And
he's in a bunch of shit.
Parks and Recreation. Dennis Feinstein was one of the best side characters in Parks and Recreation.
Yes. He was a psycho.
Your hatred nourishes me.
Yeah, he was a fucking psycho.
Hilarious stuff.
I just feel like I think the limited runs are better. You have to go here. I have 22 episodes of content. I'm gonna smush it into 13. That's gonna produce better content. But you're gonna be more ambitious in those 13. You're not gonna have any filler episodes.
I mean, here's me being lazy, but I watched both of those seasons over the weekend. I mean, there were only 8 episodes apiece and like 22 minutes an episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like, it was entertaining. It kept me watching. I wanted more. I'm going to watch the next season of Other Space and the next season of
Sin City
Saints.
Yeah.
Sin City Saints. I like sports. I'm a big sports fan. I like
the vibe of that. Did they get into anything more serious, or is it a comedy?
It's a comedy.
Okay.
It's a comedy, but it's got a little bit of drama to it. Yeah. It's not an over the top stupid comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the shit that happens to him, you're like
catchphrases and
like, for example.
I watched a little bit of one episode.
He's got a rookie player that's going off the chain, and he's blowing his team up. Uh-huh. And the dude's name is Pope. Last name is Pope. So he brings him out in the fucking Pope mobile. So, but he goes to the mascot before the game. He's like, I want to drive the Pope mobile, and fucking ends up running over his #1 player and fucking blows it out his knee and shit.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
there's that kind dramatic of elements,
right? So
but still done humorously.
It was really well done and with actors and actresses that are new to the game. I think the chick that's the main role in Sin City Saints, I've seen her in something, but I can't.
Yeah, she's been in something.
But the main dude, the red-haired dude that plays the main role, he was hilarious, dude. He was great.
And he's relatively new.
I've never really seen him before, but yeah, great stuff.
Speaking of things on Yahoo still, one of the complaints I saw when reading about this episode of Community is that they're laughing less and less. People are laughing less and less watching them. I don't care. I love the perfect blend of comedy and drama. I want something that I can genuinely give a shit about, and then if it also makes me laugh, I'm happy with that.
I mean, dude, you have to like.
Because I mean, think of the jokes per minute. They were breaking it down to either it's the fact that it's running 20 or 30 minutes now nearly because timing and pacing is allowed to breathe instead of before it was joke.
Right, but it's. I mean, dude, like seriously,
it's right in that sweet spot for me. I love it.
If you're not paying attention, you might miss some of the stuff. So you might not.
It's layered enough to watch and go back.
Seriously, like the Play-Doh comment, the Play-Doh movie comment. You want Steven Spielberg.
They want you to play blue in Play-Doh.
The color blue in the Play-Doh movie.
Yeah. Now I thought he was saying like play Play-Doh. Blue as in like somebody that knew Play-Doh back in the day. Plato.
Right.
And and then we paused and deconstructed backwards and got to holy shit, that's really funny. They're talking about Dan Harmon probably threw out in the writers' room. Well, give me another thing like the Lego movie. Like, give me another unlikely toy movie that we could have. And I'm like, anything besides Slinkies.
Yeah,
and then they're like, Play-Doh.
The Play-Doh movie. Like, I mean, that's
and then we want him to play blue.
The color blue. You think about...
Now, do you think they intentionally avoided yellow?
Yeah. Well, because of him being Asian. But, dude, I mean, that was...
Oh, if you want to connect those racial dots, Jeremy.
That was a really good line. Yes. No, I'm not the racist here.
I know, I kind of led you to that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's a commercial for something else. We'll be back with Game of Thrones in a minute.
Comeuppance.com.
Of course, it's always my fault, Mr. White. It wasn't you taking 80 years in the gas station for what, your senior discount or something, being 80?
Putting my family at risk to help you and your drug addict friends and girlfriend.
I know the things you do for me.
And who else was bad in your life? Your brother was a dick. Your dad was a dick. I mean, you come from a line of dicks.
Yes?
You come from a whole family of dicks. You walk down the street and people say, hey look, there's the Dick family. Because they're dicks. It's not their actual last name. There they go, dicking it up. The Dicks.
Really? We're just a bunch of dicks walking around, popping dicks in mouths? Going to the dick store.
So welcome back to How to Watch TV on comeuppance.com and we're some other info that you got there.
Blah, blah, blah. So Game of Thrones, that's the important thing.
That's the important thing.
Season 5, Episode 4, Sons of the Harpy. The locations we hit in the opening, and that's when I knew that it was going to be one of those kind of things. Where it was going to be an episode that didn't hit all of my favorites. When it went King's Landing, Winterfell, The Wall, Bravos. Shit, I didn't Google why is the sword broken. Marine and Dorne, which was the new one added to it, which I was really excited about when I saw that.
That was a cool one, yeah.
I was like, oh shit, it went somewhere new.
Yeah, that was neat.
We start with Jorah knocking out a fisherman and leaving him some gold, and Tyrion is tossed on the boat, tied up, and they sail off.
Right.
Nothing much to that. Jaime on the boat to Dorne. They pass Karth, right? On a merchant ship. I'm pretty sure he said that's Karth.
There's no way.
No?
No.
Why?
Because
it wouldn't be near the sea?
I don't know. If you look at a map, Karth is on the complete other side of the world.
Isn't there on the other side of the world from King's Landing?
I'm talking like there's a whole huge desert in between.
So it wouldn't be between King's Landing and Dorne.
Unless if you're looking at like a globe. Think of it like a globe, then maybe. But I thought he said Tarth.
Oh, okay.
That's where Brienne is from.
Oh, Brienne of Tarth. Okay.
Brienne of Tarth.
That makes way more sense because then there's relevance to him pointing it out.
Right.
Because of her.
Because of her. Okay, so that's a good connection right there.
It'll make him think of her.
Made him think of her. So he has to be, and that's Tarth.
What do you think about them long term? No?
Brienne
and Jaime.
We'll see. What do you think about Jaime saying he'd kill Tyrion if he ever saw him again.
Yeah, that's right in here too, because he says he'll split him in two if he sees him because he killed my father. Now I don't think he believes that. I think he knows deep down that Tyrion's right. Like, I think that he's smart enough to figure out that Tyrion knows what the fuck is up, and that if he had to kill his father, there was a good reason. I don't know. I don't think that he's like Cersei in that sense. I think he's a good dude, and I think he sees Tyrion's side of it, and no matter what he says to Bronn, I think he wouldn't kill him. No,
it sounded pretty serious there, but anyway, yeah, I mean, moving on. That was
well, Bronn says they want to fight and fuck and fuck to fuck and fight, and he says rescuing your niece. Like he didn't air quote, but I'm putting it in air quotes because he was like, your niece. Yeah, like I love that everybody just knows it.
Everybody just knows it. And there were some more plays on that too. I think that's coming up right now. The repercussions for that are coming up.
Because Bronn guesses that he set Tyrion free.
Yeah.
And he sends his regards, and he says, yeah, I'll say that. I'll give his regards after I kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Small council meeting. Cersei sends the Master of Coin to go to the Iron Bank. That's the only Bravos mentioned.
They didn't even go there.
They didn't even go there.
But now, okay.
So they put it in the opening credits and just mentioned it.
But did you hear do you realize the relevance of that scene?
She was sending him off to die, basically. Or sending him off for some other reason. Than
the guy she sent him with.
I didn't write down the name of the guy she sent him with.
The guy she sent him with is Marin Trout, the last name on Arya's list.
Oh, okay.
Is now going to where Arya is.
Oh, okay. So that'll be the first. That'll be like her first then. She'll kill it backwards.
He don't leave Bravos. Arya's gonna get him.
Okay.
That's what I'm calling that.
Okay,
I see
that's
that little
not
connection.
bad.
That's a good connection, I think, right there. There's Sir Marin Trout. And I think they even when she said he was going with him, they even did a little music, a little thing when they the music picked up a little bit when she said he was going with.
Well, she's thinning out this small council.
I paused it and I looked at Jenna and I was like,
yeah, I didn't put together the Trout. I didn't hear the name. I was writing so much stuff down, dude. That's the bummer to watching it only once.
You're taking notes at the same time. See, I refuse to.
I have to because I don't want to have to watch it again
right.
and take the meticulous notes. So I just buck up and do it the first time, and so sadly I missed that. That was Tarth so far, and I need to keep a list of all the things I fucked up on. Just keeping notes.
Tarth was a good one though. Tarth. That's I didn't even know that. We figured that out together, but I'm pretty sure he said Tarth.
Tarth, and then what was the other one?
That's in
What's the other thing that we were just saying?
About Marin Trout being the last name on Arya's list. And now he's headed to Bravos.
I'm just writing down my fuck ups.
So that's cool. I think that's cool that he's going to end up there with her.
Yeah. So that'll definitely be what that.
Because she knows what he looks like. She knows who he is.
Yeah.
Arya knows exactly who he is. She has his name on the list. She knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
She sees him. She's gonna be like, it's gonna be sick when she sees him. Like I can't.
How much you want to bet her first test will be not killing him or something? It's gonna be something like that.
It'd be crazy to see that, to throw off that, but that's like a name on her list. Maybe he's got to get her to let go of her list.
Something to that effect, so that she can eventually come back to it. She's not gonna let go of that shit.
No.
And he can. Jaqen Hagar can think whatever the fuck he wants. Arya is always going to be Arya. She'll be a badass who's able to also be other people, but she will always be Arya.
She's going to use them.
Yeah, she's using the faceless society to further her
whatever
own
she has to do to get to
which is exactly what people like Cersei are doing, and we root against them.
No,
she's doing the same fucking thing. She's lying to Jaqen to get whatever she wants.
Eventually,
yeah,
in an end game.
Yeah,
but right now, she's loyal, and he would be a friend, and she would be. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Cersei is now wiping out the small council. Basically, she keeps thinning it down with getting rid of
enough. She said,
yeah, getting rid of the previous religious guy, and then she got rid of her uncle or whatever, Kevin.
He left. Yep.
Then she got rid of this guy, the Trout guy.
Varys is gone.
Yeah, Varys is gone. Yeah, so she's
Marin Trout wasn't part of the small council.
But he took the guy that was.
Tyrell. That's Marjorie's father. The Queen's father.
Yeah, so, and then she also, let's see, she wants to reform the Faith Militant. She wants him to head it, the High Sparrow, rather. She's pouring him wine and shit. I think they're a new power couple in a way. Like, there's going to be not a sexual thing at all.
I have a theory about what's going to happen with them.
I think they're going to fuck some shit up before she goes.
He's going to be the reason she goes.
Yeah.
Dude,
think he'll just take her out?
Okay.
Yeah.
She empowered him, and he went. And she said,
well, they started smashing beer barrels and shit. What was that all about?
Because they had the.
Oh, they busted into a brothel. That was they were trying to get to her brother. They were trying to get to what the hell's Marjorie's brother's name? I don't know.
Loris Tyrell.
So they were trying to find him. That's why they were going through all those brothels, and then they ended up finding him fighting.
But that's when she said, "What if I told you about a terrible sinner in our very midst?"
Yeah.
That's talking about Marjorie's brother. Dude, everybody knows about her and her children.
Yeah.
Like you said, Braun had that comment. When they went to that door, when the king went to talk to the High Sparrow, and they blocked him from going in there, did you hear what they were yelling at him?
Yeah.
Abomination.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Dude.
Well, yeah, she fucked. I don't think
she empowered them, and those people are going to be the reason that she gets killed.
Well, yeah,
because the one dude's a Lannister.
Which one, dude?
The one that came to see her. The one that arrested.
Yeah. The douche cousin is Justice.
He admitted his unholy relations with her, so she's just as big of a sinner as Loris is. So why would the High Sparrow's going to go after them?
Oh, both of them eventually?
The Faith Militant's going to go after. He even said it, and sitting in there, there's no sinner. Sinners, we're all equal.
Yeah.
As sinners, or whatever. I can't remember the exact line he used, but basically said, if you're a sinner, you're nothing. Doesn't matter who you are.
Well, yeah, so Marjorie asked Tommen about her brother being locked up by his mom. He says he'll set him free. Cersei's acting all casual about it, and she sends him to the High Sparrow, only for him to get blocked, and them to start yelling... them to start yelling shit about
abomination,
him being an abomination, and it showed that he's just a boy.
Yeah, scared kid.
But I mean, I think she almost just started a new leadership in a way. Like they're going to be the ones running shit now, and I think she fucked up already by doing that. If it's going to lead to her demise, then she obviously
it's going to lead to her demise.
But so what? That's setting up another player in the puzzle to fight to win the realm back, though. They're going to be one of the bad guys.
High Sparrow is going to be a huge character from here on out.
They're going to fuck shit up, and they're going to take over.
He's a huge player in the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but they're going to be the one that people have to ultimately defeat to take the throne over.
The Faith Militant.
Yeah,
dude,
because they've been gone for 200 years for a reason.
Yes,
that's all. Yes. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes. She made a mistake. She made a huge mistake. I'll say it like I said last week about it being Marjorie's last mistakes and her little encounter there with Cersei, that real disrespectful little encounter there.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
This might have been one of Cersei's last mistakes.
Yeah, I think she just fucked herself.
Well, that sin is coming back on her. They were saying it. They're alluding to it.
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Everybody knows it. And so the Lannisters aren't going to be king in power too much longer. You're right. It's going to be he's going to take control of the throne, the High Sparrow.
So I was going to say Joffrey. Tommen left and went to Marjorie.
What do you want to bet he don't make it?
Oh no, he's going to die too. Which is sad because he's a nice kid, and it's just a shame that nobody respects him.
Nice, sweet people don't make it in this world. So
she leaves to go to her grandmother when Tommen is being weak. Marjorie does.
Right.
And
to be with her family.
Yeah. Yeah, we basically get. Yeah, we
basically
he's the
get
king,
wall
the
stuff. Protector of the realms can't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up the way they did that so quickly. They just assumed the power. Yeah, it's going to be a new power. That's the new, not power couple, but that's the new power in.
It was like the next
King's
scene.
Landing.
She's like, "We're giving you this. We're going to rearm you." And then it was like the next scene, they were tearing shit up.
Yeah, they're already
they were ready to do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go to the wall, and Stannis is talking to his wife, and the red-haired lady interrupts Melisandre. He says he needs her, and she says he needs faith, and she needs to serve her lord. This is basically the gist of that scene. Nothing, groundbreaking there.
Right.
Sam is going through files with Jon. He doesn't want people from Roose Bolton because of obvious reasons.
Right.
Sam convinces him. Melisandre comes in. She asks him to come to Winterfell. She's going to end up convincing him. He's going to end up going with
He
them.
has to.
There's no way he doesn't.
There's no way he doesn't.
Okay, now, this is kind of a interesting... It's about Jon Snow's lineage, okay? There's theories about who he is and who his parents are. Do you have any guesses on who it is? I'm just going to go through one of the popular theories.
His dad is Ned Stark. So
that's a theory.
His mother... What do you mean it's a theory?
Ned Stark has always said he's my blood. He's never said he's my son. So the theory is that Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna, I don't know how to say
Lyanna Stark?
Lyanna Stark equal Jon Snow. Basically, and here's a little bit. We heard a bunch of backstory about him.
Dude, wait a minute. Now.
He went past.
Are you guessing this? Where are you getting this from?
No, there's nothing confirmed in the books as of yet. None of this is confirmed. It's a fan's theory that Rhaegar Targaryen, because when he won that tournament of Harrenhal, he rode past his wife and gave flowers to Stark.
To Lyanna Stark. And then kidnapped her.
Kidnapped her. They were in love, is what I'm thinking.
She was in love with
Robert.
Robert.
Robert was in love with her.
I guess that's true too. We don't know that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I was going to say, dude, like, if you're fucking spoiling something, I'm going to be pissed.
Think of all the mentions in this episode alone. Lyanna Stark was brought up
did you see
when Sansa went to the crypt.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they went to episode 1 in the previously on.
Yeah. For what?
Ned and Robert in the crypt talking about Lyanna Stark.
Yeah.
So that was episode 1.
But think of all the mentions to that in this.
Yeah.
To her and to Rhaegar in this episode, all the things we're getting. So, yeah, he gave her the roses, which pissed off a lot of people later on. He kidnapped and raped, creating Jon Snow, potentially. Here's the other part of the theory. Ned Stark is too fucking noble to cheat on Catelyn. He only says Jon is his blood, a.k.a. his sister's boy, and Melisandre hints at Jon Snow at his king's blood, saying the two have the power to cast shadows together. Her and Jon Snow.
Dude.
Now,
that's pretty good. You know, I'll check it out now.
Was Rhaegar a good guy? Sir Barristan said he went to the streets and would sing to people. Maybe Rhaegar and Lyanna were in love if they conceived Jon Snow. What was the other part?
Ned Stark ended up with him, and instead of admitting that he was part Targaryen, which would have had him killed, at that time,
so he has a better tie to the throne than Daenerys does.
Robert would have never put up with that.
So Daenerys is Rhaegar's sister.
Dude, if that ends up being true, I'm gonna be kind of pissed that we figured it out right now.
Why? Daenerys is Rhaegar's sister. This is all context clues from everything that we've seen.
I get it, but I'll be because that would be a moment where you'd be like, yeah. And now we're gonna know already.
So Jon Snow has more claim over the Iron Throne than Daenerys, as she's Rhaegar's sister. He's his son, potentially.
Yeah, that would he would be.
It would keep them from hooking up.
True, because they'd be.
She'd be his.
Aunt,
yeah.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
I'd have to go back and see if he ever called him his son or
he always says he's his blood. I mean, that's the implication, and he may have said it to people.
He said that if the last time they spoke, if we ever meet again, we'll talk about your mother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Ned Stark is too noble to have fucked some broad while he was at war. He was using that to cover.
Exactly, but he was noble enough to take that as a cover.
He was covering it for Robert. Because
Robert would have put that kid to death if he knew there was Targaryen
That's what
blood.
I'm saying. He covered for her with, I think he's covering in that sense too, to make it seem like it's his and not hers, which makes her seem more loyal to Robert, which, how long was his rebellion? Maybe it was during that time that Jon Snow came into the picture, and so he was off at war when she could have had a baby without him knowing about it. You know what I'm saying?
We'd have to look up the death of Lyanna Stark and see what she died, how she died.
But if she died after Jon Snow was born or before?
Not even that.
If she died before, then it's not his. It's not her son.
It's around that time though, because like you said, Rhaegar kidnapped her. That's what started the
rebellion. He couldn't reveal it, is what I'm saying. Ned couldn't reveal it to anybody because then it would get back that the king's wife had another baby, or had a baby with somebody else, the queen. Or no, she wasn't the queen yet, right? He was still when he was with Lyanna.
No,
they weren't king and queen yet.
The Mad King was his father.
Okay, so it wasn't. So they weren't. They were friendly. Married. So he still wouldn't want to.
He was married. You said he rode right past his wife. And handed the flowers to Lyanna
Rhaegar,
Stark.
though.
Rhaegar did.
I'm talking Robert. I was saying Ned might have kept that and tweaked the story so that he didn't hurt his friend, Robert, with the knowledge that Lyanna was cheating on him.
Or was in love with
Rhaegar.
And had a baby by Rhaegar. See, I'm saying even the fact that he would have been Targaryen blood would have infuriated Robert.
Yeah, that's why he would construct such an elaborate... Or just keep that it's him.
That bear that weight.
That sounds
even
like
with
Ned
his
Stark.
own wife. That he would be, dude. That would make Ned Stark even way more noble than he already
now
was.
In season 5. He's more badass than he was when he was alive.
I mean, like to come up with that theory right there. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm not taking credit for it by any means,
that, but I'm saying, but
I thought it was worth a discussion.
That's a very good theory. It's a very good theory that Jon Snow isn't even Ned Stark's son.
Yeah, Melisandre has a thing for bastard boys, huh?
So, but he still would.
Gendry.
But then he would be a Targaryen then.
Yeah. Yes, he would. What, does that change your allegiances?
No, I don't know. Well, I don't know if that's true, so I don't know.
And all this time, see, we fucked up. We were thinking Jon Stark, King of the North.
It could be
Jon Targaryen.
Right. Wow.
Fucking Throne King.
The king of the Iron Throne, king of the Andals.
I mean, wouldn't that be the perfect thing for him to be the one that it all falls to?
Well, I think that's what they're leaning towards anyway. But I don't know.
But now there's an in.
Now there's an in. You're right. That's pretty cool. I want to see what happens. And if it's not alluded to in the books that it's who his parents are, that's a pretty good theory.
There's not. Yeah, people would have said he's outright this. Even book people are weighing in on discussions about that shit. I don't read their side of it, but yeah,
I've heard there's some.
It's all varying a lot this season comparatively to previous seasons.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so when first of all, Melisandre comes into Jon Snow to try to convince him, and then she, is always trying. She didn't get the no nudity clause apparently in her contract, like right. Emilia Clarke did. Or Emily Clark, or whatever her name is. I can't remember if it's Amelia or Emily. She put a no nudity thing in from now on. We're not going to get any more Khaleesi naked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she got that put in her contract that she doesn't have to do full frontal blah 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 anymore, ever again on the show. But Melisandre doesn't have that contract because she's constantly whipping it out.
Right.
So she lets Jon Snow feel her boob to feel her heartbeat. And she tries to lure him, but he loves Ygritte still. And the way she was able to channel Ygritte when she walked away and said, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," that was kind of creepy.
That was cool, yeah. It was creepy, but cool.
Then so we get Stannis and his daughter. He told her a story of her doll that made her stone.
The doll that made her sick.
And then he calls her Princess Shireen of House Baratheon and his daughter, which that almost made me tear up.
I teared up.
Yeah?
I did. I welled up a little bit.
I think I was writing too many notes to really feel it. I'll watch it again.
Are you proud of me, Father? Yeah. And the way he kind of just like...
He's a good dude. Like it
Stannis Baratheon. I can see why Miles...
Yeah.
lies his allegiance with Stannis. Stannis is a good dude.
He seems so
and he's doing the right thing, the noble thing. The noble thing said he should have been the next in line for the throne.
Yeah.
Ned Stark. That's why Ned Stark.
According to the fucked up lineage of the throne now.
Right.
Because as we've already determined, it's going back to Jon Targaryen.
I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna get behind it. I don't
have a way to dispute it yet, so I'm
not gonna get behind
it.
I don't like the sound of Jon Targaryen.
I don't think Khaleesi is going to take over ever. I don't think it's going to happen for her. I don't think that's how this kind of a story works. And this is just me deconstructing the way the whole thing is, not necessarily
a
specific
necessarily think
insight.
the whole thing is going to have a happy ending.
I don't think Daenerys is going to, and I don't think her dragons are going to end up being the all-powerful thing that we're expecting them to be in the end game. I think it will play a part, but I don't think it's going to be Khaleesi with her dragons sitting on the throne at the end of the show.
No.
Which is what I would hope for that. That'd be a good ending, but I don't think it's going to happen like that.
See, the Iron Throne is poison, man. Just no matter which way it goes.
Somebody's got to do it,
There's not a good
though.
fucking story about the Iron Throne, man. There's just not. Like, seriously, like all the different kings that like even when Tywin back last season was talking to Tommen and telling him the stories of the three, those are awful stories, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not a good thing. The Iron Throne is not, nor has ever been a good thing. So maybe it's destruction or the end of that sort of 7 kingdoms is the end game. You know what I'm saying?
So moving on to the next
coming.
thing, we got Sansa doing the candles in the what do you call the crypt with Baelish.
Is there any way we can pause?
Yeah?
I gotta take a piss, dude. Like,
look at this commercial for this thing.
How are you sleeping through this?
What's wrong?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
No, Barb?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to How to Watch TV, Joel.
He just took a piss.
I did. I couldn't hold it. Anyway, so
Sansa's lighting candles down by her aunt's crypt. Know what it would be? Ned Stark's. Yeah. Her aunt's crypt. Baelish shows up creepily, walking out of the dark. Of course, tells a story about Rhaegar Targaryen choosing her aunt after winning the fight. Blah blah. Baelish thinks Stannis would win, or so he tells Sansa. I think he's full of shit. But then towards the end of it, he kind of convinced me.
You don't think he wants to be sitting on the Iron Throne by the time this is all said and done?
Yeah. No. I think he's going to back Stannis in the sense that he'll get Stannis to do all the hard things and then try to kill Stannis.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. I don't think, yeah. He kisses her and says the North will be hers and leaves. And so his plan for her is basically for her to become the wardeness of the North once Stannis defeats the Boltons and takes the Iron Throne.
See, yeah, where's that going to conflict with Jon Stark?
Jon Snow, Stark Targaryen?
Jon Snow, Stark
Jon
Targaryen.
SST.
Jon Snow, Stark Targaryen. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's deep, dude. That's really, you got my fucking mind.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow your mind on that one.
That's
I've had a hard time distinguishing people from the past before, but now that I know Rhaegar Targaryen is...
Don't you think the producers or somebody would
be
go to
reading
them
that
and be like, hey...
I'm sure George R.R. Martin is aware of that.
They fucking figured it out, you know? So then we got to go a different direction.
I don't know if you
I don't know, would they
stuff.
change it after that, or do you just go... Good call.
Yeah,
good job.
You guys
just give it to them. You guys fucking got it.
I would not change my show just for the sake of, not letting a fan theory have been predicted. I don't know. Let's see. Bronn rowing, looking at Jaime, who holds up his hand. That made me laugh. They carry the boat on land.
Do you think that's something that they reveal? I'm sorry. I gotta quit talking.
I gotta get through this.
Keep going.
The next morning, they wake up as Bronn kills a snake by Jaime's head. They eat the snake and talk about shit ways to die.
And the way he had it on the post, where they were cooking it, the way he had it like an S, like the symbol of like the Dorn thing. Yeah.
Jaime wants to die in the arms of the woman he loves.
So who do you think that means?
I think at the moment he means Cersei, but I think long term it'll be Brienne. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know that he loves her. But I think
it's respect with Brienne. I don't think it's an attraction.
That's the relationship I want to happen, though. I mean, her and Podrick makes sense because of Podrick's huge schlong, right?
Right. Well, that's what we came to on our previous podcast. Yeah. We came to that they were going to hook up because he had the.
Well, these fuckers just arrived in Dorne. That's basically what's going on. They're on the beach in Dorne. They slept the night. They're trying to be sneaky as 4 horsemen ride up, and they're like, it's like the guy in Community last week. It's like they're hiding behind a table and you could clearly see them.
Right. He's like, hey, right there.
Yeah. So the guys in the swords, and they start fighting, and Bronn takes him out, and Bronn ends up killing a horse, and Jen got all emotional about that.
Really?
She got all worked up because why do they always do that? Why are they always hurting the animals?
Some people do get bothered by that stuff, you know.
It's a show, so I don't.
It's a show. I know. Like, I mean, they probably put that somewhere in the credits. No horses were harmed during the production of this. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's in there somewhere.
So Jamie has a sword fight, and he catches the fucking sword with his hand. So it was like, oh, that's perfect because now you have another weapon that you didn't even think of.
Use that. I'm thinking the whole time. That's what I'm thinking the whole time. He's fighting, and he looks all lumbered, and he's like trying to keep his arm. Use that motherfucker. Yeah. Fucking it's gold. It's metal. Fucking whack him in the face with it. You know. Fucking bow, stab him. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was pretty lucky the way it worked because he just went. He like looked away and threw it up, and it just happened to go
wedge in between the thumb.
But it's a perfect fighting.
Yeah, see, now he'd grab him and break the sword and fucking stab a guy. You know?
Yeah, that was.
I mean, like use
just being able to grab a sword in general,
or fend off a sword with that arm, and it's gold.
But people have
it's gold to like right here, right?
To be able to grab a fucking sword, that looked like he grabbed it. It looked like it,
wedged, though. Yeah,
I know, but to the guy,
saying, like,
the guy didn't necessarily know he was Jamie Lannister,
right.
So he goes boom and catches it, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Right,
done.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right, Jamie, he'll figure out how that. I think that moment that he figures out, oh shit, I could use this motherfucker as a weapon now.
Yeah,
he could fend off. You know, he could block a blow with it. Yeah, that's.
Well, Bronn says nice, then Jamie says it was luck, and Bronn says, you had a wonderful teacher.
Right,
and then Jamie wants to bury the bodies, so Bronn has to dig. Obviously,
and Bronn, how much of a badass is Bronn? I mean, do you think that video leaked, his music video that we found last year?
Yeah,
and then he's like, "Oh no, you guys got to give me a super badass."
Yeah, now
scene.
I got to be even more
super manly badass scene, dude. Because he threw that knife like underhanded, like into the dude's neck. Like that was pretty sweet.
Ilaria, that's her name, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, the sand snakes.
Ilaria comes and talks to the sand snakes. And they didn't say that in this episode, but that was the thing I got spoiled on. I saw a picture of the 4 chicks, or 3 chicks, or whatever. They were the sand snakes.
Okay.
That was all that I saw. But it didn't mean anything to me. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they have a guy under a blanket. Just he's buried up to his neck, and there's scorpions crawling over his face. And they have to basically decide between Ilaria's way, which is war, and their father's way, which is peace. Right?
Do you know the relevance of the dude who was buried? You know who that was?
I didn't see his. No, I didn't catch who it was.
That was the ship captain that Jamie Lannister was talking to. That he asked, "What's that?" The guy said, "That's Tarth, Lord Jamie. That's the ship captain."
Oh yeah, he did. They did say that was the captain too.
Right.
I just didn't put that together. He
said the captain could have already. You paid him gold to not say it was us. He could have already gotten to Dorne and told on us already by now because we got off early. You know.
Yeah.
And. Okay. They caught him. The sand snakes caught him and made him tell.
Okay.
Because they said during that whole conversation, which you were probably so obsessed with it being a boring conversation.
Yeah, Jesus. Not that.
They did say that during that conversation that they knew Jamie Lannister was in Dorne.
The part that bored me was she said, "Look, you got to choose my way or your father's way," which that is their father, right? I'm making that connection right.
No, Oberyn's their father.
Oh, okay, your uncle then.
Your Uncle Duran.
Yeah, your Uncle Duran. So, and then it was like, that seems like a pretty yes or no question. Are you with me or are you with him? And that was basically the question posed, and then she goes on this fucking speech for like 10 minutes, it felt like.
It was not like that long.
It felt so long. Like, I kept looking up and going, you're still fucking talking?
No, like,
I actually wrote, wasn't it a yes or no question?
She had to give us the background, though. Yeah. That was more for us than it was for Ilaria.
Yeah.
Ilaria knew her backstory.
So that whole thing was just telling about Jamie? That was just about the boat captain and
stuff?
No,
that was about, she was telling her backstory.
Oh.
Of how she was raised, and Oberyn threw a spear at my feet and said, my father, which is her father, threw a spear at my feet. He said, no, we fight here, you know, this is what we do.
Yeah, the only one of them interested me. And that was the one who was talking about Oberyn. Yeah, my father, blah, blah. The one who said that because she kind of had his same attitude. That's the only thing about it that intrigued me. It was like her kind of being an extension of him. I don't remember. I just remember when they first started talking.
One of them's name is Oberyn.
Yeah.
Which is a cool name.
One of them was like, okay, I dig trying to pay homage to that guy because he was a great actor.
Oh, man, what a cool character, yeah.
So she spears the dude in the head and says she's made up her mind.
Right.
Then we get to one of the funnier bits of the whole episode, Tyrion trying to talk through his restraints.
Oh, yeah.
Where he was just talking shit, and then Jorah can't take it, unties his mouth gag, tells him he doesn't have any wine. And he's like, I can't sleep without wine. He's like, then fucking stay awake. And then he figures out he's not taking him to Cersei, the only one in the whole Seven Kingdoms that actually believed that Jorah was going to take him to fucking the Queen in King's Landing and not Daenerys.
Right.
That's why they set that up, because Tyrion was going to fall for it, apparently. Nobody else did that actually watches the show. Even your wife, I was talking to her earlier, and she's like, yeah, he's going to take her to, obviously.
She said it right away. I asked her what she thought it meant, too, and he was like, no, that's she's talking about Daenerys.
So
because you know Jorah, if you know his character at all from the show you watch, you know he wouldn't be talking about Cersei Lannister as his queen.
No. So Tyrion figures out who he is based on his gear. He figures out he was the spy, and then
Jorah Mormont.
He says that you're trying to win back her favor with him. And
right.
Then Jorah backhands Tyrion, and
well, he basically says this is a wasted kidnapping because I was going there anyway.
Yeah, dumbass. Right. But he's thinking he's going to get to play on it,
right?
Which I think. Now, I don't. I'll save it until after the other thing. Remind me about Tyrion after we're done talking about the Barristan stuff.
Okay.
So, Khaleesi atop her pyramid. Rhaegar used to sing to the people for money. We find that out from Barristan. The annoying guy is still begging for the fighting pits. Like, fuck off, dude. We get it. You guys want that shit. I don't.
So again, going back to your little theory that we just recently talked about Rhaegar Targaryen. A noble man like Barristan, maybe, you know, he went back to the Targaryens after he served King Robert.
Yeah, because he saw that.
Because maybe
he's a good judge of character.
Weren't the Mad King was a Mad King, but Rhaegar Targaryen maybe wasn't such a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's smart enough to figure out who to go with. The Harpies are under the tunnels and are now slicing throats in the streets. The whore tells them to go the wrong way. The one that helped slit the throat of the...
Yeah, she was in on it the whole time.
Yeah. There's a fight. Grey
that
Worm
was the
is
second
kicking.
son. That was one of... that wasn't an Unsullied. That was one of the second sons.
What was?
The guys killed? They got killed right there that she was sitting there crying over.
Oh, okay.
That was one of...
and who is that? Who are the
Fabio's
second sons?
men.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm glad he died. Yeah. Grey Worm is kicking fucking ass, doing badass in this fight. The son of the Harpy kill a bunch of fucking people.
They kill all the Unsullied, basically.
Grey Worm stabbed, but is still killing. Barristan comes in to save the day. He gets hit in the leg, but kills nearly everyone. The Harpies. Seriously. And then Grey Worm and Barristan are left laying in blood at the end of the episode. Now, what that brings me to is, first of all, Barristan did not die in the books. He does live. They say that he's with Khaleesi for a while now in the books. And people in the books were pissed, so I love that. Okay. The people that read the books are like, what the fuck? It's not the same. So they changed that. Apparently they changed the whole Sansa thing with it being her friend or blah, blah. I don't really care. Sorry, I don't mean to be harping on the book side of it. But so he went to the producers and begged them to keep him in the show.
Barristan. But we still don't know necessarily if he's completely dead or not. I think he's dead.
He's dead. Grey Worm's not.
I don't think Grey Worm's dead.
Here's why.
The only thing
he got
that
stabbed in the
me,
leg, and then he got something. Barristan, when he was down after Grey Worm came in to save him, Barristan got something like in the meat of him, like he's done.
Well, I thought he got stabbed right in the chest.
Yeah, like something came up, like
but then the dude was going to cut his throat, and I was like, oh shit, you know, and like we're going to see this, and then Grey Worm saved him basically. Well.
And Grey Worm got stabbed and shit, but he's not dead.
He got stabbed like right in the side here, like once.
Interesting point about Grey Worm. Do you remember when he got stabbed? What happened? He fucking screamed. Yeah? So what? Don't you remember when we met the Unsullied? They went up and cut off his fucking nipple and he didn't make a sound. Him. No, but the Unsullieds don't make noise. They don't...
Well, he's becoming more human.
Yeah, that's the interesting part about it, is that he's not Unsullied necessarily anymore. He feels... They didn't feel before was basically the implication. The Unsullied, you could do anything to them. I'll cut their ear off. I'll cut their dick off.
That's it. That's a good point.
He screamed when they stabbed him in the shoulder or wherever.
Right. Well, I just thought the only thing that scares me about is the length of time they stayed on them and showed that pool of blood coming out from under them. Well, I hope they're not both dead.
But now, the other thing about Barristan is dead. He's the biggest badass in the kingdom. How is he dead? These aren't the most badass people that came and killed him. They're
they ganged up on him, and there was a bunch of them. I mean, dude, he killed almost everybody in the room.
I know, but
it
feels like we never got to see him be this fucking
That's
badass.
what I thought we were going to get right there. I didn't think he was going to die, but I didn't think he was going to get it right there. I really didn't.
I think he's done, and I think that it's sad that we never got to see him in action.
Besides this one, yeah.
Besides this one where he dies. So
right, yeah, because he was supposed to be one of the baddest swordsmen. Right, there is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, does this open a spot for Khaleesi to bring back Jorah? Or is it the perfect position for Tyrion to come in and be her advisor? I think Jorah still gets shit on and pushed back out, because it seems like they're setting up for
that
Jorah.
Or he dies.
Who, Jorah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tyrion ends up becoming friends with Khaleesi.
So where does Varys fit in then? Because
where is he?
He got separated from Tyrion in the brothel.
So you think he still went to Khaleesi?
I think he's gonna. Well, do you think he'll look for Tyrion? Don't you think a little bit? I don't know. And then I think he would continue going and go on to.
I'm not sure. I don't know where they go necessarily, but I think Tyrion is going to be the one that ends up with Khaleesi, not ends up with her. Because I mean, even though she's fucking Dario,
like that, but as her number one,
as Varys said, you were pretty damn good at being the hand of the king.
Yeah.
So if he was her second, which I guess would mean eventually that he's going to die too. if Khaleesi goes down long term, fuck. Next week, comeuppance.com, how to watch TV @_how to watch TV on Twitter.
This is howtowatchtv.com.
This is howtowatchtv.com. We'll have all of the links to all the stuff everywhere. So we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Because
this is how to watch TV.
See you later.
All these memories in my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.